Blazers working to bring you specifications you can relate to so you can have an educated decision on your purchases. This is a custom knife from Christopher Gillian of GillianKnives.com. So you could pick up the knife anywhere from $368 to well over $1,000. Depends on what you want in it and what type of materials you want. And the base model, you can actually anodize it to whatever you want as well. There's 4 different options available with no extra cost. So that's actually kind of a nice thing about it. So this is how it's going to be. And then if you didn't notice, this is actually in the other side because it is, you can order it right hand or left hand. This is actually a left hand version. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. I am right handed, so I've been working with this knife with my other hand, and it hasn't been bad. So right-handed, it still works. So that's going to be the lock side, which is actually the plain side of the knife. And then we're going to be looking at this side, which is the show side of the knife, which is kind of that falling star pattern. So you can get it anodized, you can get Cerakoted. There is a bead blast, I think, that's available as well. I think that would be my preferred method to finish off this knife here. But there's a lot of different things for it, all in-house treated. So basically anything from the heat treat, CNC, the grind on the belt, sharpening side, that's all in-house. So it's a one-man shop taking care of things, taking care of his family. So if you want to support those type of things, check it out. Check out his site at GillianKnives.com. And then, yeah, if there's something you're looking at, place an order for that as well. But inside the handle, just has a few different things. So on the show side, it actually has like the Gillian as far as the brand. It has a numbered thing for it as far as which number the knife is, and also the model, which is Falling Star. So that's all in there as far as that information on the blade. So this one is going to be where we're going to look at it. We'll look at it for as hand sizing too, for a women's hand or a men's hand. So this is a larger knife, so you're going to have to take a look at this as far as how this is going to be for you in your hand. So that's adult women's hand on that side, and this is all things that you can get in the description down below. So print it out, see where it's going to be for you, and this is going to be for adult male's hand. And also it does have that front choil, so you really could drop it down to that level. So whether you have a regular size hand, large, double X hands, it's going to be probably something that you can handle and actually get a hold of and not be too small for you. So that's going to be an idea for that knife there. Weight-wise, it's going to be a little bit heavier. So this is a titanium and then also a CTS XHP knife for the blade steel. And that's going to be where it's going to be a little bit heavier. So that's a 5.9 ounces for the knife. So that's going to be 29 quarters and a penny. So that's going to be where, if you want to pick that up, get that in hand so you can get a little bit of better idea as far as how heavy this knife is for yourself. So that's kind of one thing that you can get a number, but to actually get something in hand, to get that feel of it, is kind of a little bit different. That kind of breaks that line between something that's told to you and something that you feel. So that's going to be how that's going to lay out. So that's maybe about 3 bug outs too. So it's not going to be a bug out knife, but it is going to be one that is going to be, again, USA made, CNC, grinded out, and also heat treated. So as I said before, price wise, $368 all the way up to well over $1,000 if you want to go with the Sweetheart style. But the Falling Star one goes from $368 to $448, and then you can actually get a different steel as well. So CTS XHP is one of the options, which is the base model, and then you can go to S35VN, which is the secondary model for it. Geared backspacer is an option. Otherwise, you get the barrel spacers, but this is the geared backspacer, also made out of titanium for that one. So that's going to be how that looks for it here. So pull side, normally about 2 to 3 pounds is what I like to see on most flipper knives. If flipper knives with a thumb stud, maybe a little bit more in that 2 pound range for that, but we'll see as far as where this is. So 1 pound, 10.8, so a little bit less than I would like to see, and maybe that's the reason why this one might have a little bit larger flipper tab too, to be able to get kind of that balance out as far as acceleration for the blade. So that's going to be that style. So 1 pound, 10.8 ounces for the pull on this knife. It is a flat grind that goes across. It does have kind of a tanto style to it. It doesn't come to a standard tanto tip though, so it kind of has a little bit rounded off area, so it's not going to be that really distinct secondary bevel as far as that one grind plus the other grind to actually finish off that tanto. So this one again, CTS XHP, which is something that a lot of people still look for in the cold steel knives. If you have one of those, it's one to just hold on to. It still is a good one, but they moved away from it because they couldn't get the amount of material that they needed at that time. So I don't know if that's the same thing, but this one, he states that it is heat treated to 60 HRC. CTS XHP has an aimed hardness about 60 to 64, so it's basically, no, it's still in that range as far as what that material should be doing as far as a proper heat treat for it. Corrosion side, it's going to be about the 60th percentile for it, and also edge retention about 76th percentile compared to other super steels out there, which is not very bad at all. It actually performs very well. So this one is going to be also handle length is going to be about 4.87 inches. The actual width is going to be about 0.46 inches. So that's going to be that width. Behind edge thickness, so again, we have two kind of different bellies for the knife. So we're going to be at 27 thousandths and 28 thousandths up here. So it's going to be about 7 sheets of paper. So take that out of your printer and you can get an idea as far as what that's going to be. So you can kind of look at it, see what it looks like for yourself. One thing that I really like about it, so degree of ramp, if you haven't heard that term before, basically I call it that because it's basically from when you disengage to when that knife is actually, that detent ball is on the actual knife blade. That is where I feel 20 degrees is really good, 30 degrees is okay, 40 degrees and above is a bit excessive and a bit too high. So this one comes in at 18 degrees. So to actually disengage and get that detent ball onto the blade is 18 degrees, which is a really good amount there. 3.8 millimeters for blade stock thickness. So it is a bit thicker blade stock for this one. And this is going to be a left-hand tip up for that carry. So if you order, of course, the right-hand one, you're going to have this scale swapped over that side. You're going to have the pocket clip on this side for a right-hand tip up. Reason for that, again, is seam of your pocket. You're going to want that blade against that seam of your pocket, so left-hand tip up. If it's flipped over to the other side, pocket clip on this side, right-hand tip up, seam against that blade so you don't actually cut yourself if you put it into the wrong pocket. So that's kind of the point of that whole thing. So to take this out of pocket, it was about 2 pounds, 6.8 ounces to get this actually drawn out of the pocket. That's minusing the weight of the actual knife itself, of that 5.9 ounces. So that's actually, it's a good retention for it. And then also it's a pretty good ramp for it. So it doesn't catch up as well or as much, especially with this being just a plain a lock side. So there's no G10 to really snag up. So it shouldn't damage your pockets as you're working with this knife through a day-to-day basis. So for this one, the edge side, I wasn't able to test the edge on it too much because this is basically, in this format, is kind of the baseline. So since he's doing custom orders, he has kind of a few that are kind of waiting for a customer order. So then he can customize it and do that final finish. So the blade secondary grind wasn't totally finished on it. So it's going to be a mirror polish, leather stropped and everything when you get it. And that's going to be that finished knife. And then he'll kind of do all the anodization, Cerakote, bead blast, whatever you want to do on the handles, colors that you want. So that's going to be where that will help you get that knife in. So it's going to be about a month wait period for it. So once you order the knife, to when you actually receive or have that knife shipped out to you, it's going to be about a month, and that's a custom knife. So you're going to be waiting a lot longer than some of that for some production knives that are very popular. So if you want to check this one out, it is a good option. Again, American made, all in-house. Same guy that does everything for it, names on it. So he's going to be really wanting to make sure that the knives that are leaving the door are of the best quality because it's his name, his last name's on it, his reputation's on the line for it. So that's kind of be where that is. So for this one, as far as the comparison for it, at least for me, this is going to be one that would actually compare pretty well to this one here, the Chris Reeve. So that's the 21 in single blade. We also do have the Rat 2 for that style and that size. And then you have the bug out, which is kind of becoming something that's pretty popular as far as what people would have in their collection currently. So for this, as far as a buy, borrow, or avoid, I can't really say in that same category. I would say check it out. I don't have a finalized version of it, so I don't know how all the finishes are once they're already said and done, ready to be delivered. So I would say it's worth checking out. USA made, customizable. I would prefer this one to be kind of like the Wilson Combat version. So this finish on both sides, I think that would really clean it up and actually have that continuity on both sides. I just like that a lot. That's one thing I didn't really like about one of the Wii knives as far as that, because they had basically one side that was that circular pattern, the other side didn't. For that one at least, that pattern was pretty rough. This one's not, so I think it would do pretty well on this lock side as well. But I would say worth checking out. USA made, GillianKnives.com. Check it out. But that's about all I have to say about that one today.